Good morning. Please just hold your water until right before the opening hymn. We'll invite you forward then.
Welcome to our church. Together we grow our souls and serve the world in love. Wrong page. It was this way. Good morning. We'll start again. This is my first time. So. I'm Carol Hensler, she, her, and I serve on the board of directors. Welcome to White Bear Unitarian Universalist Church. We are a community of youth, adults, and children of many diverse theologies, held together by covenant, not creed. Together we share the values of courage, reverence, and compassion. May you know deep welcome and belonging in this place. To share a request for today's meditation, please place it in the chat box before the opening hymn or add it to our meditation bowl. Please gain consent before you use someone's full name. The meditation bowl is in the Soulwork Center, which is over there. Welcome to any visitors. We are so glad you are here. Please fill out a guest card so that we can send you a welcome email and drop it off on your way out the door at the Welcome Center out there. For those in the room, please join us in the social hour after the service in the social hall. And now a few words from Reverend Jack.
We are happy to introduce today our new youth coordinator, Mark Caswell. Yes. Mark has agreed to join us for 1 year to help cover us during the sabbatical of our DRE, Amy Peterson. He joined us just last week and he'll be working with our senior high youth and helping to facilitate our coming of age class this year. He's a member of First Universalist Church and he's also a seminarian at United Theological Seminary. If you see him, please welcome him. And if you are in high school or have a high school youth, be especially sure to introduce yourself to him after the service. Mark, we're so glad you're here. We are also saying a deep gratitude and fond farewell today to Will Hageman. He came in very quickly this summer to serve as our interim operations director, and we are extremely grateful for his help. We are giving him a small token of our gratitude this week as he finishes his final week with us when he will be training in our new operations director, who is starting tomorrow. Her name is Karn, not Karen and not Karin, Karn Anderson, and I hope that you all will be giving her a deep welcome as well as she finds her footing in this new big job. Thank you.
Now, welcome to our church. Together we grow our souls and serve the world in love.
Come in. Come into this place which we make holy by our presence. Come in with all your vulnerabilities and strengths, fears and anxieties, loves and hopes. For here you need not hide, nor pretend, nor be anything other than who you are and who you are called to be. Come into this place where we can touch and be touched, heal and be healed, forgive and be forgiven. Come into this place where the ordinary is sanctified, the human is celebrated, the compassionate is expected. Come into this place. Together we make it a holy place.
Sometimes your robe catches on a stair. It's the start of a poem, I'm sure. I'm Reverend Jessica, and my pronouns are she, her. Our chalice lighting this morning is from Reverend Gretchen Haley, titled, "We Gather to Draw a Wider Circle." So let's just take a breath together. In a world that feeds on moral outrage, we are here to cultivate moral courage. In a time that prizes picking sides, we gather to draw a wider circle. And in a culture that teaches us to get for what we give and to ask, what's in it for me? We come to practice generosity and to remember, we are all in this together. In the midst of life's bitterness, we choose to sing, to give thanks, to laugh together, and to be keepers of beauty, to offer a place of belonging for all who come, in gladness and in pain, to resist the push to the next moment and to the next, to slow down, to breathe more deeply, to feel a part of something greater for this hour and in this space. For this time, let us be the change we wish to see come. Come, let us worship together. Will you rise in body or spirit and join us in the opening words? Love is the spirit of this church, and service is its law. This is our great covenant, to dwell together in peace, to seek the truth in love, and to help one another. Now, please join us for our opening hymn, number 361, Enter, Rejoice, and Come In. And if you have been waiting to bring your water forward, you may bring it forward now. And if you are up in the balcony, we ask that you come down. The bowl up there is for the blessing. So we ask that you bring your water down or maybe send it down with someone else.
Will you join me for a moment of prayer and meditation? Gathered as we are today, about, 200 people in this room and 37 households on Zoom. We pause here in the awareness of our individual and collective selves. I invite you to place both hands on your heart and take a few deep breaths as we settle into the spaces between us, into the space between our past and our future, into this present moment. We are on the cusp of a new year, and we have much to be grateful for. The crisp air, family gatherings, new beginnings. We are also in the furnace of a heated election cycle, and tensions are high. Our uncertainty and our anxiety are wrestling with our hopes and our prayers for our future. This morning, may we commit ourselves to the action and the activism that will help bring about the world we envision. May we get engaged and stay engaged in the work of caring for those on the margins of society who are most affected by weird ideas and dangerous policies. This morning, we know that all of us have come here with our own combination of thoughts and worries, prayers and concerns, and we take some time now to lift them up. We pray for Mara Coyle's family as they continue to navigate complicated health situations. A prayer request for Grace, who is in her end-of-life journey, and prayers for a number of employees at someone's YMCA that were abruptly dismissed this week. Also, thoughts and prayers for Claire Schleicher and her family as her grandmother, Mary Claire Thorlifson, age 100, passed away peacefully in her sleep last month. And now, in the stillness of this moment and the stillness of this space, we speak out loud the names of those that we are holding in our hearts and minds. We know that we are more able to hold this together than we can alone. May it be so. Amen. Please remain seated and join the choir as we sing Covenant.
And now a few quick announcements. Well, I know it feels like it's still months away, but we are looking for a few good volunteers to help support our annual auction this December. It's only 3 months. The theme is Jingle and Mingle again, and Jean Doolittle is looking for a co-chair and a bevy of volunteers to make that event go smoothly. If you're interested, please contact Jean. And please mark your calendars for the next 2 weeks. Next Sunday, September 15th, is the backpack blessing. So please bring your backpack or briefcase so that it and you can receive your blessing for the year. And don't forget that it will be the first Sunday where we return to 2 services at 9 a.m. and 11 a.m. The week after, on September 22nd, we're having a special guest speaker from the Minnesota chapter of the Council for American Islamic Relations. And after the services, we will be having a committee fair. So come learn more about all of the various committees, and there's quite a few, and teams that actually accomplish the work of this church, and learn how you can get involved. Also, we are looking for people to sponsor our weekly altar flowers, like these. Many people sponsor the flowers in memory of a loved one or in tribute to someone special. Please consider sponsoring these flowers so that our services can still be infused with their beauty. And now, Carol Nelson will introduce this morning's offertory recipient.
Awana, good morning. My name is Carol Nelson, and I'm a member of this church. My pronouns are she, her. Love is at the center of the work of Rural Healthcare Initiative, or RHCI, in Sierra Leone, West Africa, one of the poorest countries in the world. The mission of RHCI is to partner with the communities and overcome one of the world's highest rates of maternal and child mortality. Our work there started with founder Alice Carpe, who, out of love, wanted to help the women and children in her home village, where she had seen so many women die in childbirth. Formed in 2011, RHCI operates 2 birth waiting homes and outreach clinics to 16 remote villages. RHCI transports and covers the hospital expenses for women with obstetric emergencies such as obstructed labor or hemorrhage, and children with malaria and other serious illnesses. RHCI also operates a large child malnutrition program. I've been to Sierra Leone 8 times over the past decade. My work with RHCI is based on love. Love for people who have so little and yet are so much like us. Their humanity is our humanity, and I am called to this purpose. RHCI's work is love as a verb. Love means helping with the most basic medical needs. And in the past year, our programs have doubled in size due to the expanding needs, with over 23,000 points of impact in the past year. After church, I'll be available to share more information and to answer questions. But today, our offering will support this life-saving work in a country that you may never visit, but where you can share your abundance and show your love for others through your generosity. We will pass the collection plates now, and you can donate in 3 other ways: on the WBUUC website, or send a check or leave a check at the locked box outside the front office door, or use the text to give option found in your order of service or in the chat box. Whichever way you give, please indicate the keyword MOMS, M-O-M-S. Thank you for your generosity and faith in this life we lead together, serving the world. Bye, ka-ka-ka-ka-ka-ka. That means thank you very, 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 very much.
Beautiful choir. Thank you. If you've been thinking about joining the choir, they practice on Wednesday evenings. And welcome all voices. So today is the day when we gather for our annual water communion, and this might be your first time here. You might be thinking, what is happening? Why are there these water receptacles? And so to begin, we're just going to give you a little bit of a historical perspective, although I'm sure all of our longtime members could give this, right? So according to the UUA in 1980, two Unitarian Universalist women, Carolyn McDade, who wrote Spirit of Life, one of our beloved hymns, and Lucille Shuck Longview, were asked to create a worship service for the Women and Religion Continental Convocation of Unitarian Universalists. As they shaped that service, McDade and Longview wanted to create a new ritual that spoke to our connectedness to one another, to the totality of life, and to our place on this planet. When asked about this, they said, "Water is more than simply a metaphor. It is an elemental and primary, calling forth feelings of awe and reverence, acknowledging that the ocean is considered by many to be the place from which all life on our planet came. It is the womb of life, and that amniotic waters surround each of us prenatally. We now realize that this worship service was for us a new story of creation. We choose water as our symbol of our empowerment." And so we gather around this water here, as congregations all across the world are doing on this same day. I texted some colleagues of mine to wish them well this morning, thinking about colleagues starting new ministries, colleagues having the last year of their ministries. This is a creation ritual that connects all of us Unitarian Universalists. And we acknowledge today that as we bless this water, it blesses us. And so today we will bless this water, and then we will bless each other. Our water blessing this morning is from Reverend Ronwa Hamani. The response is, "This water is sacred." So let's practice that.
This water is sacred. This water is sacred. It is made sacred by the many hands that have poured it with intention and love, the many stories that each drop contains, the many lives surrounding it in this unique moment, connected by commitment and faith. This water is sacred. May it continue to flow through this community with shining reflections on the unique gifts that flow through each of its members.
This water is sacred. May it continue to nurture this community with sustaining hope that we journey together through the ripples of growth and change. This water is sacred.
May it continue to bless this community with loving reminders of our collective responsibility to one another and the world.
This water is sacred. May its ripples be a reminder that the changes and growth within this community bring movement and transformation to the world beyond our doors. This water is sacred.
May its purity offer grace to our community and the willingness to forgive ourselves and one another when we make mistakes.
This water is sacred. In moments when we are confused or uncertain, may it bring us clarity of purpose and commitment. This water is sacred.
In moments when the reservoirs of hearts and spirits are drained by sorrow or pain, may it nourish them with the knowledge that we are surrounded by a deep and abundant love.
This water is sacred. May you know that we will take this sacred water, we will sterilize it, and then we will use it to bless our babies as we dedicate them. We will use it to bless our beloveds who are transitioning from this life. May you know that this water is sacred. So I want you to take a moment and think, what was the blessing you were seeking when you came into this space today? What were you coming seeking? It can just be one word or a phrase. What is it that you were seeking? What is the blessing that you need today? What are you needing in this time?
As you think about the blessing you are seeking today, we're going to be asking you to come up to these water stations, 2 at a time, at each table, to bless each other. Today, you are invited to be blessed by these waters and to bless someone else with these waters. You might be able to bless someone you already know, or you might be given the opportunity to bless someone new. This is part of what it means to be in community. We are bound together as by our covenant that we share, by our shared values, and by being in this building or on Zoom together as we are. Sometimes we get to interact with people we don't yet know, and that is a blessing, especially on the heels of a time where many of us were so isolated. What a joy it is to be together again today.
Are you still thinking about your blessing, or are you more distracted by the changing that's happening here? Just checking with you, just checking. So think about that blessing. Think about what is the blessing that you were seeking coming into this space today. So Jack and I are going to model this for you. We did this last year. And also for those that are watching online, we invite you to gather water nearby, because after Jack and I model this and we invite you to come forward, Jack will leave the room and lead a ritual for those watching online. So keep in mind, what blessing were you seeking coming to this space? Jack, what blessing were you seeking coming to this space? Balance. I bless you with balance. Grace. Thank you. And so you will just ask the other person, what blessing were you seeking coming into this space today? And then you will repeat it to them as you pour a little water from the carafes. Note, this is not the water that you poured up here earlier.
Hello, all of you on Zoom. It's good to be with you in this way. I hope if you haven't already grabbed water, you are grabbing some now, and maybe also even a little bowl to catch the water in. So I'm glad that you could join us all today virtually, and I want to be able to give you a unique virtual water blessing. So I hope you have a moment to just breathe in this blessing. As people in the room are blessing each other, we can bless each other here. So let's just contemplate for a moment together where this water originated, right? Depending on where you got the water, what were the processes that it endured to get to you? And let's also just consider the absolute importance water plays in our lives. When has water contributed to your healing? We all know the power of flowing water through time. That power has carved canyons out of stone, right? That power has generated centuries of mills and dams, whole cities, power grids, probably. And in that same water cools the supercomputers that power our internet search engines, right? And we ourselves are made up of 70% water. Water is life, and water is sacred. We honor it today as we receive its blessing. So if you have someone with you, much like in the room, ask them what the blessing is that they're looking for, and then just pour water over their hands and bless them with that word. And if you don't have someone with you in the room, I can't say that word for you, but you can say it out loud and pour the water over your own hands. And feel free to type into the chat box that word of blessing or phrase of blessing that you are looking for this year. So for the next few minutes, just take some time, be with that water, let it run over your hands, and soak in the blessing of the moment. I see quite a few blessings. I want to just echo back to the room. Acceptance, comfort and peace within myself, mindfulness, peace, calmness, balance, beautiful. Thank you all for sharing and for sharing this moment with me. I'll see you back in the main service.
Is there anyone, while people are just finishing up their blessings, no need to rush, is there anyone who would like us to bring a blessing to you? You can just raise your hand. on Zoom, some of the blessings that were asked for were peace, mindfulness, acceptance, calmness, security, healing, a mindset of hospitality, trust, connectedness, renewal. And you all blessed each other. What a gift. Thank you for leaning into discomfort in the service of community. May these blessings carry you this year when you need them the most. May they carry you through this day into this week. Maybe when you get home, write your blessing word on a piece of paper, stick it on a Post-it note on your bathroom mirror. Don't let this be a forgotten blessing. Remember that this blessing is with you, that this community will help hold you in what it is you are seeking. Amen.
Here we are embarking on a new year together, just 14 months away from the 70th anniversary of the very first meeting where the seeds of this congregation took root. It was a small gathering right here in Mahtomedi in November of 1955, And I imagine that those initial 18 people had no idea how much we would grow and change and move buildings and expand the building and even run a few successful capital campaigns. They probably had no idea that we would have around 8 different settled lead ministers over the years, and that we would also launch the careers of many ministerial interns who cut their teeth up here in this church of the earth. And those first brave souls that understood the power of community would become a community of 600 to 700 people, as we are today. We probably wouldn't be able to imagine the very earth-shaking way that our culture and the fabric of our society has substantially changed over the last few years, the way that our technologies have shaped and reshaped us, the way that a pandemic has both brought us together and made us understand how inseparably interconnected we are, and it has also cut us so deeply apart and polarized us so intensely. Our original founders here, who first signed the membership book in November of '56, had dreamed and imagined a world where we could live out our values in the public square, and where we could find a place where spiritual deepening is possible and even probable. It means so much to take time out of our daily lives to consider some of our shared long-term hopes and visions, the ways in which we are trying to make a better world out of the one that we have inherited. Just yesterday, about 25 of this congregation's leaders met for a training session. We gathered under the idea of radical welcome and focused on this month's theme, the practice of invitation. We asked some questions like, what are the ways that you have invited others? What are the ways that you can continue to invite others? Have you invited the others around you into a deeper sense of community, into relationship, into a covenantal understanding of mutual care? Can you invite some of your fellow travelers into a sense of joy and fun and playfulness, as we did just a few weeks ago in our play service? Can you invite others into the life-giving conversations and dinners and games that make our community stronger? We are doing our best here to foster that deep sense of belonging within this community of meaning-making. We make meaning together across our differences, and those differences make us stronger. And it is those differences that make this water communion ritual so beautiful and moving. The water that we have brought represents the different paths that we have been on. It can symbolize the stories that we have lived and that we bring back to this community. Whether or not we share all of the stories that have shaped us, and hence they have shaped our community. If you experienced a deep loss or sadness this summer, you are bringing some grief and some pain into this upcoming church year. That pain and that grief lives within the water that you have brought. And you have poured it here alongside the water of many other people's journeys. Some of you have experienced some great triumphs and celebrations this summer. Your joy and your contentment also exist within your water. You have poured your water into the same vessels as those of us who are mourning. These waters are co-mingling. All of our joys and sorrows are bumping up against each other. And it is in that commingling where we do the work of church, where we become a stronger community, because we know that we need each other. I encountered a Swedish proverb that is going to be my mantra for the year. I'm sure you'll hear me say it quite a few more times because I think we all need to hear it over and over again. It goes like this: shared joy is double joy. Shared sorrow is half sorrow. When you share your joy with me, it duplicates my own. And when you share your sorrow with me, I can help you hold it. The burden of it for you maybe feels less burdensome. I really hope that this year is the year that this church embraces and embodies this proverb. Let's share our joys with one another, and let's also share our sorrows. When we let our waters commingle, magic happens. We are fiercely independent, and we are also deeply interconnected. All of us are on our own journeys, yes, yet none of us is an island. And even if we were islands, in the metaphor of islands, we would still be bordering the same body of water. I might just think this metaphor is a good one because we live in Minnesota and there are so many lakes, more than Wisconsin. But I just love the imagery that water is the thing that binds us. All of us rely on water as part of our survival. And many of us have specific water that is meaningful to us. Much of the water that people bring to a water communion comes from local waters. Many people brought water most likely from Lake Superior, White Bear Lake, Bedeh-Makaska maybe, the Mississippi River. It's sometimes easy to forget, especially those of us with tap water in our homes, that these sources of water were the sources of life for our ancestors. This summer, while I was traversing the Superior hiking trail, I was hyper aware of the importance of water. Every day I had to find fresh water and then filter it for drinking and cooking purposes. I had to be extra aware about all of my water sources, and I chose to carry almost 2 liters of water with me at all times, just in case, especially on a hot July day. I'm wondering where it is that you all find your sources of water, your sources of life and healing and inspiration. Where do your streams of hope come from? How do you find rest and restoration when you need it? One of my primary highlights while hiking this past summer was dipping my feet into cool springs or pools of water, every chance that I could. My feet were tired and hot and dusty, and they needed the healing power of the water that I encountered. I wonder if this resonates with any of you. So what are your sources of healing, and how can you prioritize finding them? I'm pretty sure we all this year might encounter some dusty roads, some weariness, some despair. Where will we turn when we think we can't go on? I hope you'll return here. I hope you'll gather strength here in this physical space and in this virtual space that we create together. Maybe you'll gather some of your strength from this stream outside our building, or from the labyrinth across the stream. Maybe you'll gather what you need from our Wednesday night dinners, or the educational and relational programming that follows them. Maybe you'll join a team or a small group that adds to your belonging bucket. Maybe you'll figure out a way to serve this church community that helps you feel a sense of purpose, usefulness, a sense that you matter and that we need you to be fully alive, fully complete. I hope you can feel the river that is inside you, and I hope that you can see the river inside all of us. May you carry this day of ingathering with you, and may you carry this ritual of blessing and the blessing itself with you as you go from here into this next year. May it be so, and make it so. Amen. Please rise in body or spirit as we sing our closing hymn, number 1007, There's a River Flowing in My Soul. It's the teal softcover hymnal.
Join me in the closing words. May peace dwell within our hearts and understanding in our minds. May courage steel our will and love of truth forever guide us. Go in peace. Please join us in the social hall, grab some coffee, and enjoy the big band, our fabulous big band playing in the atrium.